Pandas. Pandas. Pandas, 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 pandas. Got bras and attitudes and dope lean and a panda. Pandas! Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Sorry for the late start. Sorry for the late start. Had a rough morning. Sorry for the late start, but thanks for joining, guys. We are live and ready. The market is open and we're jumping right into it. Good morning, guys. Tony P. Good morning. Wayne Bignell. Good morning. PB. Good morning. Peter Cho. Good morning. Make sure you guys drop a GM in the chat and scalp that like button. Peter Cho, good morning. Mindful, Jazzy, Sweet Audience, good morning. Wayne Bicknell, good morning. Peter Cho, do you have... Okay, well, interesting question. Carl Herman. Oh, I see. He's trying to explain why. I get it. Thanks, appreciate it. Kellyanne, good morning. Good morning. Sweet Onions, good morning. Carl Herman, good morning. Speedy Boy, good morning. Need this, good morning. Glitch, Iran, Turtle Toes. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Roel, Tyler, the Northern Turtle, good morning, guys. From Canada, welcome. Lance Lofton, DA Social, Isaiah. Good morning, guys. Thank you. Make sure you guys scalp that like button. All of it helps. Let's keep this community alive. What do we have here? I mean, break a trend, new low, trap trade. Right now, uptrend, 4 pushes, 5 pushes up. Currently, maybe 6 pushes up. Spiking channel, in my opinion. Spike. And look at where we come down, right? On this new low, we come down to test the previous trading day's high. And then we reverse off of it, and we get a nice little reversal setup here. But this is grinding up. I mean, look at this. This is very grindy. It's not super strong, but it's a small pullback bull trend. So on the higher time frame, this does look like a breakout. If I were to draw my trend line here, yeah, I don't know about that. This trend line is a little tricky. You know, I will say I've been struggling to find some good setups in the last couple days. The last 2 days I've had 0 trades during stream, and I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I am really, while looking at the trades and the quality of the trade, I just the last couple of days it's just basically like goes to a breakout, and then it will go into consolidation, and then breakout, consolidation. And for me, to trade a two-leg pullback, you need like somewhat of like a trend. I think at least you can trade trading ranges as well, but those are always difficult because oftentimes they will have failed breakouts on you. So the last couple of days, I think just during stream, there were maybe 1 or 2 setups that I did miss that I thought were hindsight bias. I thought they were good, but during the time while the trade was setting up, they usually were near resistance areas, or they were near, like they were in choppiness, immediate chop, and it was just or the signal bar was not ideal. It was just like a lot of little things that I could not pull myself to take the trade, and it's just how it is. You can only take what the market gives you, and so I'm torn because I want to give you guys content. Obviously, I want to enter trades. I want you guys to see winning trades, or even losing trades. I want you guys to see it, but my first priority is definitely to try to enter trades that I like, not what you guys like. Morning, guys. Good morning. Actually, let me do a reload. 6 pushes up, and now we're getting a double top of some sort here. And like I mentioned, it is going upwards. It's grinding up, but it's not. It is going up, but it's going up in a kind of very choppy, grindy type of way, and it's hard to enter any of these. There's just no entries for us here. You basically already missed the entry right here. This is the entry right here. Big risk though, big risk. I'll be right back, pandas. Sorry about that, Pandas. Good morning. I'm back. I'm back. All right, so what we got here? Break a trend, new high. The daily chart, man, oh man. How bullish. 3 bull bars ending near their highs. Man, can't even give us a first entry down. It's just continue to go back up right off of our buy zone that we created on the daily chart. So, I mean, the question is, are we going to be bullish today? Or are we going to go into a trading range? Or what's the deal today? Unsure. It looks bullish because we're obviously way above the open or the previous day's close. So, hey, what do you do? What do you do here? You can take this trap if you want to continue this uptrend. To me, I already have a break of trend to new high. So not really looking for a long trade here. Because this could be a double top easily and it could reverse. It doesn't help that the trading range indicator was right here, but it's already broken out of. I mean, pandas. I mean, is it quite possible? I don't know if you remember, but there is a gap way up here that has not yet been filled. It's a multi-week gap. It's actually a month gap, right? From this gap, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually, not a month yet, but about 3-week gap has not yet been closed. You might want to close it. I'm not sure. All right, so we got a little push up here. That does give you a scalp, but that's risky. That's a risky trade to take. $10K chart. We're clearly above the 20 EMA here. We've had basically been above the 20 EMA for a long time. Since Friday, really just been bouncing off the 20 EMA ever since on the 10,000 tick chart. Hey, drop in the chat if you guys did anything interesting over the weekend. We got a wedge here. I marked it. Obviously another push up, and it makes a perfect scalp. 4 pushes up, creating an L4 setup here. How do I know it's 4 pushes up? Because I see this 4 here. That means there's been 4 pushes up. And this is happening after a break of trend to new low. Sorry, break of trend to new high. And the new high essentially is a double top, a higher high double top. Chris says, I used to live for the weekend until I started trading. Prices and constipation. That's not too far off. Peter Cho says, Giants game though. Giants have been trash the last couple seasons. Just really bad. I'm just happy. I'm happy the Cowboys got just dominated. I love it. Ralph Grunz. I got to spend weekend with my new granddaughter. That's amazing. Yeah, the Chiefs. Good game. Good game. Good game. I'm sad to say, but it's out of habit. But I'm a Redskins fan. I know that that's not what they're called anymore, but it's probably gonna be a while until I can like fix that. But basically, I'm a Washington fan. I basically have to convert to Washington. The command. Every time I think of Commanders, I just think of Commandos, and I just think about a bunch of guys running around naked. Yes, we rolled over. We rolled over. I rolled over actually on Friday's session. It's a big push up here. No entries for us whatsoever. Can't wait for the Giants to play the Golden State Warriors. That'll be a fun game. Would you want Golden State to play football, or would you want the Giants to play basketball? I mean, I don't know. Did the Commanders, did they already create a new like a new chant, new team song? Pandas, throw in the chat what your favorite football team is. If you watch football. Obviously, not everyone here is from the States, but I think we do have a lot of Canadians here. I'm actually curious if Canadians um, Canadians actually like football. That's interesting. Ralph Grunz, Casey and NFL, but Georgia and NCAA, FC, Barcelona. All right, yeah, it is weird that we call football football. Biggest misnomer of all time. We hit the ball with our feet like, there's like two circumstances we hit the ball with our feet. But 90% of the time, it has nothing to do with your feet. Bengals fan. Oh, I see. FZen, we watch curling. Hey, I think curling is like fascinating. I think it's really fascinating. It's actually very relaxing to watch. Petrichard Canadians like football, though we prefer hockey. All right. Makes sense. I find it surprising NHL, actually almost every sport except football really has Canadian teams that play. You have basketball. You have Canadian team basketball. You have Canadian teams. Is there Canadian teams in baseball? Bunch of Canadian teams for hockey. JC Brooks says, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. That's right, yeah, Toronto Blue Jays. Yep. I mean, this is just on a bender here, just going up and away. All first entries here, as you guys can see. We had 1 second entry long here, high or low second entry long. I just don't like it when on the second entry long, the first leg is so strong, because at any time this could turn into a, you know, two-legged pullback like this at any time. Especially when you go underneath the 20 EMA like that. I do not like when one leg goes on the opposite side of the 20 EMA. But that is a second entry long. Currently trapped out of this uptrend. Let's look at the first 5 bars on the 5-minute chart, and I'm going to put a poll up to see what you guys think here. The first 5 bars on the 5-minute chart look like this. I'm going to put a poll up to see what bias you guys have today. If you have an overall market cycle insight today. Lance Lofton says he looked at this as a failed trap. I don't see the trap, but you can consider this maybe a trap, first entry trap, I guess, if you want to consider those traps. I don't identify them that way. Hey, but who knows? You can identify however you want these days, so. All right. Let's see here. Coming back to the top of our channel here, in my opinion. So it's hard for me to long anywhere in this area. This is just getting wild. It's gonna be hard, and it kind of had like an exhaustive look here. But clearly in an uptrend, clearly in a bull trend, clearly on the daily, there's nothing really stopping you. I mean, you would think maybe you come here to test the bottom of this from this gap. You might come up here, and this level here is at like the 41, 42 level. So that could be a clear target for today, 41, 42. I mean, it's not that far away. It's just right here. 41, 42, about 10 points from here. Even though we might have a target, we need a setup to get there. Just a monster move up, and it looks like a strong move up as well. I mean, we're bouncing off the previous day's high. That's where we bounced off with this reversal pattern, and we basically try to create a double bottom from here. It ended up creating it right here with this pivot low, double bottom, and pushing very strongly up. But no entries, you know. Here we're trying to take second entry longs, and what I would need is a second entry long coming off some sort of key area. Right now we have only had all first entries, so no setups for us whatsoever. And again, like I said, you can only take what the market gives you. And the bad part about, you know, such strong moves up like this is that once it makes a second entry long, sometimes it just happens like too late in trend. And you know, there are already so many first entries that are successful It's like the second entry long almost feels like a reversal because, you know, it's breaking the pattern, right? Like if you had so many first entries that are working out and then all of a sudden you have a second entry long, it kind of actually breaks the pattern of the first entries, and, you know, people are a little more hesitant to enter. Just a massive move up, always in long. No candle has broken the previous candle's low yet. And it's a entire move up on this fifth push up. Very interesting. I mean, was I going to enter there? No, because, you know, 9 times out of 10, this doesn't really look like this. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't do this. This is one of those 10% moments. It's a big channel. Toes mentioning there might be a trend from the beginning. Not really the beginning of the day, but, you know, with the overnight session pivots, we could have a big channel here looking like this. Huh. All right. I mean, it's fitting in. I'll keep it. I'll keep it in. The 5 minute, right? Every bar is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of scary how this looks like. Just how parabolic this looks like right now. Just how there's almost no resistance, right? It's just continues to go up. 10,000 tick chart, clearly above the 20 MA. It's just super small bars continue to go up here, always in long. Notice how there has not been one candle that has broken the previous candle's low along this entire way here. At this point, you're really just buying. You know, you're just always in long buying. And you know that if with any reversal, it's probably going to be a small pullback. So if you see any feeling of a reversal happening, you can come out at least break even. That's the thought. You know, with a wide stop, of course. You know, the stop has to be below the 20 MA, which gives you a wide stop, but you can scale in, and you're assuming you can at least come out break even sometime. We finally break a previous candle's low here. This is the thing. I believe we're probably always in long, and we're gonna be always in long for the rest of the day. I just don't know how deep these pullbacks are really gonna be. It's a first entry long here. Another one. We may get a two-leggy here. Most of you guys think it's gonna be a bull trend day today, so let's trade accordingly to that. We do have a potential second entry long here.
10,000 tick trap.
Let me know if you want to take the second entry long. A, B, C. It's far away from a 20 MA currently, but it is a second entry long on a super strong uptrend. Terrible signal bar. Let's see if we can get a nice scalp here with a second entry long. Here, I mean, I could potentially try to draw some sort of trend line. I don't know. it could be off this trend line. It's the first, second entry long. Signal bar is okay. That's risky. It's a little too far from 20 MA for me, but it is going uptrend, and it is in this channel here. If you want to trade this channel, to me, not enough room to the top of these pivots for me really to feel comfortable here. It's a decent signal. It's a good signal bar actually. It's just kind of floating in the middle of nowhere to me, and plus, you know, immediate resistance right above it. And I'm sweating. If you're sweating right now, if you enter long there, so thoughts and prayers to you. Makes a micro triple bottom. If it comes back up here, maybe I'll take the long, but I don't know. You just lost a trade if you went long there. We can maybe take this second entry long here. This will be off the 20 MA this time, hopefully. Let's get off the 20 MA here. That's pretty darn close. Again, not enough room to the top of the pivots, previous pivots, but it might be worth the risk here. It might actually be worth the risk here to go long here, because we waited a little bit and now we're forming a small trading range. And we're closer to 20 MA on a strong uptrend. So it might be a little more worth it here. The signal bar is not good. It's actually a bad signal bar. We're actually going lower. It actually touched a 20 MA now. Which is what I kind of like. I kind of like it because now we have some room in this small trading range here where we have a failed breakdown and we can come back up into it. But also notice a big trading range marked by the trading range indicator. Starting to show reversal. It might come back to the bottom of this channel, might come back to the bottom of this trading range. I'm going to take the risk here to go long. And the risk is not large. It's about 2-point risk. So it's about a 1-to-1 risk reward at the moment. Candle's not finished yet, so we'll wait. It's a bad signal bar, but that's your signal bar that you're using. The entry bar, not super bullish, but it is bullish. You can come with a retracement here, thinking the risk is not too large now, and you're clearly above the 20 MA. So, I mean, you could take a retracement here and maybe take like a 1-point loss. Retracement might be missed here. I'm going to try to take a retracement here and see if we can get in. Your risk is now just like 1 point, and you're above the 20 MA here. Make it stopped out here. It's all good because the risk was so small for me. It was worth it, seeing that we're above the 20 MA in an uptrend. And you know, if you don't like it now because you saw the strong bear bar, you can skunk the trade. But my risk is so small, I don't mind losing this. You lose 1 point, potentially gain 2 points. We're coming back into our trading range here. You can skunk this at any time still. You can even take your risk off by bringing your stop loss to break even plus 1 tick here at this point. We'll just hold off for 2 points because at the end you only risk 1 point, and I'm fine with losing 1 point. It's $50. And there is enough room right to the top of this trading range to give you enough room to try to get that point. It's not looking too good now. It's looking very choppy, and you can still skunk it at any time. I was about 1 tick away from getting my target here. And again, like I said, we're risking 1 point. So I'm fine with losing 1 point. The only pressure I really have is you guys watching me trade and me potentially losing in front of thousands of people. But yeah, I mean, that's a small little thing. At the end, it's just $50, and I think I don't mind the setup here. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Got my 2 points. But boy, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Whew. Almost stopped me out 4 times here. Let's get that bamboo. Just being patient. And to me, like, even if I lost that, I really wouldn't have cared. Just because it's a 1 point stop. I got a nice retracement here. And yeah, so don't mind that. in any way, it was like not a win-win, but you know, the win was good, but the loss was not too bad. So to me, it was a nice trade to take, you know, in my opinion. We had this trading range, was banking on the failed breakout of the trading range, thinking the 20 MA is going to give us some support here. Strong uptrend. But notice, like, if you enter this long here, right? If you enter this second entry long, A, B, C, right? You see the double bottom, and you realize you don't have enough room really to even make 2 points. Right? You have about 1 point room to the top of this pivot here, and this ends up punishing you if you took this trade, if you came in a little too eager here. And we were patient, and even if you went long here, actually, no, actually it made this low before it made this long. So you get stopped out here, and it made this low, and I saw that this was looking a little bear or bullish. So okay, I'll come with a retracement, and actually almost stops me out with that 1 point. But to me, it didn't really matter if I lost that. So you guys wonder, why do I skip so many trades? It's not like I want to. I'm just waiting for a good setup here. It's a higher low setup, and a trap does trigger on the 10,000 tick chart. Sorry, on the 10,000 tick. Oh, I was wondering what is happening. This is the wrong. Oh man, it's the 5 minute as well. Oh man, I've been looking on the wrong. Whew. Sorry, I have like other charts up, and they're all on the right contract. Those were on the wrong ones here. Sorry. So the trap does trigger here on the 10,000 tick, and who knows? This could be a strong uptrend. It's far away from 20 MA. I mean, it's not a place, you know, if this was on the 2000 tick chart, this is not a good trade. It's a risky trade. It can work, but it's a risky one. We have the higher low setting up on the 2000 tick. It does look like it wants to just break out again, right? The fact that the 20 EMA is still curling upwards, and we cannot even break beneath the 20 EMA, makes it feel like it's very bullish. Right? I have this like very and I feel like pressure is building up, and it's about to try to burst out. We may have another second entry long here. A, B, C. A, B, C. Above the 20 EMA. Now this time there's not enough room to the top of the pivots, but we're clearly above the 20 EMA. 20 EMA is rising. And we're in this trading range. So a terrible signal bar, hard to take that trade if you're to take it, in my opinion. If you're to go long here, it's difficult because you can see that we are clearly in chop right now. And so it starts to become 50-50. And so if it even does trigger, if it triggers too high, it can hit its head right on resistance. And of course, any resistance level is a breakout level. So it can potentially break out. But then you're kind of trading a breakout rather than a scalp kind of trade, right? You're trying to swing trade really at that point. So here you have every opportunity to go long if you want. It's a really bad signal bar. It is off the 20 MA. It is an uptrend. So you have a bullish case and a bearish case. I'm skipping this because there is that bearish case to me, and the fact that we're going sideways. And it's tricky because even if this does work out, I don't think it's necessarily a good trade still, in my opinion. You know, there's some trades I've admitted that worked out for me, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have entered that trade. It's actually not that good. There's some things I missed here. So those who are long here, thoughts and prayers to you. This could be a double top. It could reverse here, but the 20 MA, the fact that we're still above the 20 MA, it makes me not want to go short anywhere here. Plus, if we do, we're basically banking on another breakdown. Those who are in long here are, you are still in the trade. Tempted to go up again. You may have 1, 2, 3 attempts to try to break out here, and you could take a reversal trade here after 3 attempts, 3 failed attempts up. You're sweating now if you're long. What's the difference between the trade I took and the trade here? Like, why didn't I enter here with a retracement? If you did enter a retracement, you actually would have probably made 2 points, but barely making 2 points there. Actually trapped this trigger, now we're reversing at this point. Could be a decent push down, but with such a strong uptrend, I'm not really looking for a short trade right now. Plus, where it's happening at the bottom of this choppiness, so we can get sucked back into the choppiness, come back to the test, back to the top of this trading range. Basically it's a limit order market, and I sit on my pause on these limit order markets, and this is kind of what's been happening a lot of times. You know, you have an obvious trend, but you start entering these limit order markets, and I just cannot enter. The withdrawal process of Apex, basically you put a a request in to pull out money, and I believe you can do that from the 20th to the 25th. You have like a 5-day window where you can put that request in, and they're going to look at your account, and by the time it gets close to withdrawal, they're going to approve it if you have enough funds. If you have enough funds, then they will actually withdraw the money and deposit it into your account. Inside bar, anyone who knows what's going to happen here, I mean, you have probabilities. You have the fact that we are in an uptrend, so you have, you know, slight probability probably going to the long side here. But in the immediate context, you have a limit order market, and it's very difficult to trade this. On the higher time frame, 10,000 tick chart, you do have a two-leggy forming here in midair. A, B, C, potential two-legged pullback on a strong uptrend in midair. Could be possible. Could be a nice move up. On the 5-minute chart, you have basically still just this leg up here. Second entry long, maybe triggering on the 10,000 tick chart. Second entry long. When these setups happen on these higher time frames, you gotta pay attention. Might be outside bar reversal. Not sure. I'm not interested in this trade. I mean, the risk is not even that large though. It's like 1, 2, 3. It's such a small risk on a 10,000 tick chart. It might be worth taking because the setup is so good. It's just like a small base, right? Basically a bull flag. And, you know, you have good potential to make a nice move up here with very small risk. Relatively, right? 1, 2, 3. I mean, very rarely do you have like a 3-point risk when it comes to 10,000 tick chart. You might have a setup here. It's pretty rare. Pretty rare to have such a small risk on a 10,000 tick chart. Might be worth taking. Might be worth taking here. Am I going to take it? Probably not. Outside bar just triggered on a 10,000 tick chart. Outside bar reversal just triggered with 10,000 tick.
10,000 tick trap.
Clearly above the 20 MA, having a hard time. Right, there's no moving average gap here, as you can see, showing a strong bullishness here. I almost want to go long on this 10,000 tick chart and thinking it might be a very strong move up. I really don't see any signs of reversal here. I don't see any bearishness really, but no setup on the 2,000 tick chart, fortunately. $10,000 tick chart trap does trigger, and it's a decent push up currently. We'll see here. Like I mentioned, the risk was small, so it might have been worth just taking that. So it's second entry long, right? Pikachu trade on the 10,000 tick, and it's at least 3 pushes or 3 points, 3-pointer. So you probably make your 1-to-1 already right there. No setups though. I mean, the direction I'm getting right, of course, it's going bullish. It's just when to enter this long. And here we see a nice move up on the 5-minute chart. Inside bar, right? OII pattern, breakout mode, basically creating a small little triangle here on the 5-minute, and whichever side it breaks out of this triangle is the breakout side. So breaking out of the small triangle on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, taxes for Apex, basically you're a contractor, which is better. I think you have better taxes when it comes to contracting. Need this as I lost 800. Should I just turn off my computer? That's really up to you. I think everyone needs rules, for a max stop of the day. At least take a small break. You're obviously reading the charts wrong, or you're not in the right space psychologically. I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, you're probably not reading it correctly. Here, we had the probability that this was going to go higher just because we couldn't break beneath the 20 MA at all. It's very difficult. The only problem is that we were in this choppiness for a while, and the probability was that we're going to go up, but who knows? Like I said, I wanted that 10K setup, but yeah, I mean, it's only like with a 3-point stop loss. Not bad, not bad at all. All right, pandas. If we get a setup here, would you take it? We're in an uptrend, A, B, C. Would you take this second entry long if it does appear? Now we lose our second entry long because the count's reset. So this is a mute setup. And really all you need is one trade, right? You just need one trade. One trade a day. Keeps the boss away. Even with this $100, if you have enough Apex accounts, this is way more than enough. This is more than enough than you need. Potential trap trade here. Do I like the trap trade here? Strong uptrend. No signs of bearishness. Do I want a trap off of this 20 EMA here? Is this enough for me to want to go long here? Still a trap trade. Doesn't make 2 points. Basically, it'll be a first entry off the 20 EMA here. Do I want to take this trade? It looks kind of ugly, but I'm not sure. I feel a little silly going long here, just because it's not really a setup. I'm just trying to catch the momentum that we're going upwards, and I just want to catch more of this bull leg, or this bull trend. But it's a little silly trade in my opinion. It's not really a good setup. If we did trigger this and have another one, we would actually have a second entry long. Currently, it looks like this. A, B, C. Maybe. Hidden second entry long. Maybe. Just watching. Let's see if we get a first entry here. We need that first entry in order to create the second entry long here. Right now, I marked it as a hidden second entry long. If you're eager to go long here, you can maybe take the setup, but I'm rarely that eager to enter a trade. I mean, for me, I don't really care. I mean, I'm already up 100. That's more than enough for me. All right, we actually triggered that first entry. Beautiful. Let's see if we get a second pullback here. I'm gonna just throw the pull up. If you get a second entry long here, would you take it, Pandas? This could be a final flag of some sort here. Having a tough time triggering that second pullback. Second pullback never really triggers here. Remember, on the daily chart, the target that we have is the 41.42 target. Basically, it's the bottom of this breakout here. Actually, 41.43 is what we're looking for. Oh, no wonder. This is also not right. Darn it. This is wrong. This is wrong. The move up is very high. I can move all these. Darn. It's 41.60 now. We don't even get our second pullback for the two-leggy, and it's a first entry long, and it's enough. I mean, basically, it's a hidden second entry long. A, B, C, and it's a second entry long. It's a hidden one, but nevertheless, still second entry long, unfortunately. I would like a regular second entry long. I would have taken that, but we just got a hidden second entry long. For those who are eager, you could enter that. The reason why I marked it is because this is how the price action formed, right, within the candles. You know, you're saying like, well, this looks very arbitrary. If you watch the candles, in fact, if you look at the range of the candles, you can see that it made this movement, right? It pushed down, it pushed back up, and it pushed back down, and now we're pushing up. So it's just purely looking at the movement of the price. And it made a two-legged pullback. Maybe double top here. For me, I'm not really looking for anything bearish because we have not really broken beneath the 20 EMA yet. The fact that we're so strongly trading above the 20 EMA makes me want to skip any type of reversal trades and, in fact, take the traps of the reversals. So if I see a reversal trade happen here, actually I'm waiting for the trap. I'm waiting for that reversal to fail and continue to go long, because this is not a day you look for reversals. And for those who are looking for reversals, you know, you will get burned. The only problem is that, you know, typically there might be little teeny reversals that happen. Like second entry long will trigger, it'll trap, and then that traps and goes its way. But oftentimes you enter on this second entry long here. Like you would enter this trade right here, and it's just like one trade too early before it actually does finally make its move. So that does happen. Even on strong uptrends, you might get trapped out, or might get stopped out from trap, but it's hard. It's hard to say. You got to still time it right. You still have to time it right. If we get a first entry here, then I'll look for a two-legged pullback. I'm not sure if this is a good place though, to be honest. It looks like it's making a double top of some sort. Like I mentioned, like here, you know, we had second entry longs. We had a second entry long here even, and that fails. It traps and finally goes its way. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is not a place where you look for reversals. You don't look for reversals on such strong uptrends. But sometimes they will still trap you out, right? You have ABC, right? You go long here. You know, I mean, it's getting choppy, so you really don't want to enter long. But you go long here, it traps you out, and then finally goes the way you thought it was going to go. So only after it traps you out. Only if it stops you first. And I'm saying that can happen along this uptrend, but this trade is not the trade you take though. You don't take the trap trade. If anything, you can go long here and then take the stop loss and try to re-enter if your premise is still good. Like you're still above the 20 MA, you can try reattempt and re-enter, but first you gotta take the hit though, because you really don't know if it will reverse. I mean, you can try to bank on scaling in, but that's risky. I think in these situations, it's probably better just to take the hit and re-enter if you like your premise still. Sure, you lose a little money, but you prevent yourself from losing a lot of money. Let's just say that. You lose a little money to prevent yourself from losing a lot of money. Second entry long, perhaps forming here. Might be a hidden second entry long, like with the outside bar reversal. Micro double bottom. In fact, it's a micro triple bottom here. 1, 2, 3 hits all in one spot. That might be enough for traders to enter long here. I'm just waiting for my setup. Second entry long. The only reason I don't like it is because the 20 MA is starting to flatten out here, and it may do one of these things, right, where it just stops you out and then goes its way. But we shall see. I see a double top here, potentially forming, and bulls, of course, they want to break through this double top. Basically creating a double bottom instead. I still have a bullish bias, but I feel like the setup would be hard to come by, especially when the second pullback happens this low or this close to 20 MA. I mean, terrible signal bar. This is a second entry long. Putting up the pull up for you guys. Second entry long here. If it forms, would you take this trade?
10,000 tick trap.
Micro double bottom now. Starting to get choppy. We're still having a tough time breaking beneath the 20 MA here. 20 MA is still acting clearly as support. But look how choppy it's getting. Double top. Could be a double bottom as well. There's always a bull and bear case, and now this is looking very choppy, overlapping bars. This is a limit order market. We broke out, entered another limit order market. This is why it's hard for me to enter these longs, right? breaks out limit order market, breaks out limit order market, and it's just, if it's in a little limit order market and I sense it, really hard for me to enter long. It really is. You know, this is a hard trade for me to take, you know, to go long. It's a Pikachu trade, but for me, I'd rather take the failed trap here, and I would be more inclined to take that than this long here. The signal bar is decent, but you have to recognize that it's an inside bar, and it's coming right after this bear bar, and that's coming after this, right? This is a, how can I even identify this? This is a I pattern, and it's just like, to me, it just means trading range. It's in breakout mode, but who knows if this will continue? Who knows? It's really difficult to say. Pandas, I mean, I'm up $100 or trading 100% risk-free using Apex. Consider using Apex, especially while the 80% code is still active, BBM80. Make sure you take advantage of that. It will be expiring tomorrow. It will end tomorrow. It was a Labor Day special. It will end tomorrow, so make sure you guys take advantage while it still lasts. Now you're sweating. If you entered long here, right? Thoughts and prayers to you. Right, it's getting really choppy. And it's a limit order market, so this is why it's difficult to enter long there. Even though so many people are probably like, it's obviously bullish, just go long. You know, you got to recognize the price action and notice that we are in extreme chop, right? We're in a limit order market, and we have you just got stopped out right there if you enter long. I may go long here on a failed trap attempt, right? With this failing, it might go long, but hard to say, really. I mean, it looks a little strong right now. For those who are thinking this is a big reversal, you got to wait for your follow through, in my opinion. So you can't take this long, and if you're in this short, it's a little risky. It most likely will make your point, or your scalp, 2 points here. But who knows? You need follow through. People who missed this move down might try to re-enter here with a retracement. I am going to skip this. I may go long here, actually, seeing that, but seeing how we're still in a limit order market, it's very difficult for me to do anything right now. Even though we're in this bullish move up, it's hard to time. Really hard to time. What can I say, you know? I mean, you can only take what the market gives you. I took the setup that I liked, ended up making the money, made my bamboo. A lot of you guys are already getting frustrated by the price action here. Eddie Chilla says, what is the special after month 1 with Apex? It turns to 50%. So it's 80% off, you know, when you initially do it, and then it's 50% off any recurring months. I'm more inclined to go long here, thinking we might come back into this chop. But setups typically like this, you go in the high or low setup, and just not enough room. This trading range is so small. Bouncing off our trend line that we've had since the beginning. Really big trend line here. Coming near it. Might be a failed breakdown of it. Let me see if I can mark the same trend line on the 10,000 tick here. 10,000 tick chart. Here's that same channel. The 5-minute. Breakout, failed breakout, coming back down, might come back down to the bottom of these breakout bars. At least the apex of this triangle. What's the setup I'm looking for here? Right now, the setup I'm looking for is a failed second entry short. That's all I'm looking for at this point. You may even go long here coming off this trend line and kind of burst it up. I'm not sure. Higher low setup maybe. Higher low setup might be good coming off of this. Terrible signal bar to take, but strong bull bar ending near its high. Maybe a higher low setup might be worth taking here. It basically also will be an H4 setup if we get it. I may attempt to go long here, but it's looking sideways. It's looking choppy, kind of difficult. I may take this attempt here. The only problem is I don't like this trend line that's starting to form right here like this. But higher low setup may be worth taking here. It will be a second entry long. It will also be a H4 setup. It will come off of our trend line here, and hopefully it will trigger above the 20 MA. 20 MA is starting to curl downwards, as you can see. Maybe, I mean, I would need a good signal bar. I need everything else to work out with the setup, and that is not looking like a good signal bar here. Derek Nider asks, when do you take the higher low setup instead of the usual failed second entry? The higher low setup is just a riskier trade, but typically trading ranges, you'll take the higher low setup because trading ranges oftentimes they don't give you that trap, and so in order for you to enter in, you can take the higher low setup. I'll take the higher low setup here because I see this trading range forming here, thinking we can come back into this trading range. You can see with the trading range indicator. So that's why I was attempting maybe a higher low setup might work as well. Plus, it was an H4 setup. So you have 4 pushes down, which is two leg of pullbacks in a row. Increases your chances to enter in. So, but now we're making new lows, so I don't like that. You want to go with the direction that the market is going. So if I want to go long, I want to make sure the market is going upwards. Right now it's going downwards, so it's hard for me to go long here. Like I mentioned also, I don't like this trend line that's starting to form, and it did end up, like, for those who went long here, this trend line, was the reason why you didn't want to enter. It knocked you out, stopped you out. Now we have a second entry long, also H4 setup. What am I waiting for here? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. A lot of bears are thinking, okay, yes, let's begin our bear trend here. Let's reverse. Bulls are saying, let's do a fail break of this trend line, and bouncing off this previous right near the apex of this triangle. That's why I drew it so long. I want to see where it would point to, and basically coming off the apex here. Maybe higher low, but better entry here will be a failed second entry short at this point. Failed second entry short is what I'm looking for. I mean, we have enough here to say the character of the market may be changing. Maybe at least, trading range is already forming here. You have one leg up, one leg down. So we already know the trading range is already happening. The question is, are we going to come back to the top of the trading range, or are we going to break through it, keep going down here, make a new low here? I'm no longer interested in the setup, right? Keep making new lows here. It's very, very tough to go long when new lows keep being created. Can't even make to the top of this trend line anymore. Hard to say. It's a really difficult market to trade at this moment, in my opinion. For those who have not done Apex yet, the reason why the 80% code off is so amazing, it allows you the opportunity to open several accounts for very cheap price. And let's say you can open up 10 50K accounts, trade them with the trade copier, and pass them all. And if you can pass them all, then you have 10 funded accounts, 50K accounts at your disposal that you can trade. And the reason why I say 10 is because that's like $300. It's going to end up being like $300 for you. And if you can pass them all at $300, then you're funded like $500,000 essentially. That's how much you're funded. And with that kind of capital, you can really make life-changing money. What I mean by that is, with every, if you have 10 accounts, I like to use 4 accounts typically. But let's say you open 4 accounts, right? That's like what? That's like $120. You have 4 50K accounts, and if you can trade, make $100 a day on them, then that means at the end of the year you can make $100,000 with an initial investment of $120. That's if you can trade, of course, profitably. But what I'm saying is that with the 80% off code, you can really, really put yourself in a situation where you make more money than you've ever had. What I'm saying is this: if you have 4 accounts, you multiply that by 250, which is the amount of trading days there are in a year, and then you multiply that, right, which equals 1,000, and then you multiply 1,000 times the average you make per day. That's how much you can make per year. So if you can make $100 per day, this is what I'm saying. I can make 1 scalp a day and I'd be happy. And that's more money than I ever need, because if, let's say I have 10 accounts, then my multiplier is 2,500. So with $100 a day, I can make $250,000 a year if I can just make 1 scalp a day. And that's with 10 accounts. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I like to use 10 to show you the potential of trading with Apex. And so that's why Apex gives you an opportunity you probably never would have in your lifetime. The potential to make $250,000 a year with 1 scalp a day. 1 scalp a day. If you can make 1 successful scalp a day, and it's having 10 Apex accounts. This is wonky. Another limit order market, very choppy, very difficult to trade. Now, no idea what direction we're trying to go to. It looks like it's finding some sort of support here, and it might continue to go upwards. I don't know. 99% chance sometime today, the 5-minute chart will hit the 20 EMA. Now, the 20 EMA might catch up to it, or we might crash down to it, but 99% chance we will hit the 20 EMA sometime. When I say like 99% chance, I literally mean like 99% chance. Like, it's almost a guarantee. But it also means that, out of 100 days, there might be 1 day you might not do it. But Al Brooks, in his like 20 years of trading, he's never once seen the 20 EMA not be hit on the 5-minute chart. At least be touched. Making a small little channel here. We might break out of it here. I mean, I can't go long unless we break above this trend line at least. You cannot go long unless this trend line first needs to be broken. We need to be trading above this trend line. That's the only time I could really go long, in my opinion. So RGA says, would it be 85 times 10, $850 fee, right? You pay because if you pass them, you have to pay $850 altogether. That's true. But literally with 1 trade, you can make up for that. You make 1 trade a day and you make up for that fee, just 1 trade. Because you'll make $1,000, right? Across 10 accounts, $100. 1 trade, you just need 1 trade. You make up for that. You gotta think relatively here. If you can't, you gotta think relatively on both sides. Someone coming onto this channel trying to sell his YouTube channel. What in the world? That is the most strangest thing I've ever seen. Higher low setup here. Maybe for the fail second entry short, I may be interested in going long here. I mean, you can say maybe break a trend to new low and fail second entry short here. Could be potential trade here. That could be what you're looking for. Bouncing off our support here. Outside bar reversal. That means you could potentially A, B, C. Maybe fail second entry short here. Potential fail second entry short. I'll be tempted to take this long here. The fail second entry short here. I'll be tempted. Not gonna lie. I will be tempted to go short or long here. It looks very choppy in my opinion though, but context wise, it's a good long trade in my opinion. Let's see if we get the setup. And after this triggers or doesn't trigger, I'll probably end the stream here. Fail second entry short, about a trigger. Notice pandas on the 5-minute chart. We do have a trap that already triggered on the 5-minute chart. Our fail second entry short on the 5-minute already triggered with this 3 here. Let's see if we can get a setup here. I'm not sure if the market's going to be so kind to trigger us that second entry short in order for us to enter in the fail second entry short that will precede it. We'll have to wait though. The setup I'm looking for now is A, B, C. I'm looking to go long because, in my opinion, this could be a breaker trend to new low. Now we're above this trend line, and we are, all green lights right now, in my opinion, to go long here. Only problem is I want my setup, and if the setup might be too conservative to wait for, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna chase anything. If the setup comes to me, I'll take it. If it doesn't, then I'll move on. Simple as that. Very binary trading here. Second entry short almost triggers here. Absolutely incredible. Gives us a micro double bottom instead. Micro double bottom instead. It looks like it might not give it to us. We'll see. Oh, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna go on without us. It does trigger already. So what ends up happening here, it gives you a fail second entry short, but only with a micro double bottom. So it gets really close and doesn't give us our second entry short here. It misses by 1 tick. Instead, it already reverses, but instead it acts as a double bottom. Double bottom might be good enough here. So who knows? We might get it here. I don't know. It's coming back down, so we might actually get our setup. I don't know. I have a feeling we already missed it. But who knows? I'm just a panda. That's just an ultimate tease if it gives us a micro triple bottom and it reverses here. That will be the ultimate tease today, where we were waiting for the setup just to break 1 tick beneath the previous candle's low, and instead it gives us a micro triple bottom, and then that might be the setup the bulls are waiting for. This might be the ultimate tease, pandas. I mean, if we don't actually get the second entry short here, all right. Whew. All right, we actually get the second entry short here. I'll go long here even with the bad signal bar. We might get our fail second short. The setup we've been waiting for a very long time. May trigger here in this trade. This could be a nice push up here. Risk is 1, 2.5 points. Looks like something about to stop me out. I don't mind getting stopped out here. I like the setup. I like the trade. I was patient for it. And if it gets me, it gets me. I like the fact we're bull trend, break a trend new low above the trend line. Bouncing off of this apex here. It does stop me out here. And it is what it is. But pandas, I don't mind that setup. I like it a lot. And even though if it gets me, I think that's a good setup. And even if it hits you, I think it's, to me, it's completely fine. So pandas, with that being said, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream. And sorry pandas, I'll try better to start on time. It's just the pre-market show knows why I was late today. But I will see you guys bright and early. And as always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.